Could it possibly get worse than Tucker Carlson and Greg Gutfeld going on Fox News talking about how, I don't think he was really guilty, but I'm glad he's guilty so that my Starbucks doesn't get a window broken. And, oh yeah, police don't even exist. I know they just shot and killed a teenager in Ohio, but they don't even exist. Is it possible to get worse than that? I present to you Tim Pool's reaction to Dereck Chauvin being found guilty.
I couldn't believe it. No, I could believe it. I absolutely could believe it. The jury was threatened. Maxine Waters threatened the jury. The rioters threatened the jury. And there are left-wing journalists right now saying the only reason we got this verdict is because we spent months out in the streets. And I'm like, they're even admitting it. It was the threat of violence and destruction that resulted in the...
Okay, so I want to present to you an alternative piece of film from Tim Pool that maybe could explain this kind of behavior.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. Because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know what the problem is, though? It's definitely not me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everybody else.
So this is the guy we're dealing with. So, okay, there's so much going on here. Maxine Waters threatened the jury? What? What? Like, I don't even, like, do I even, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? But, like, okay, so, again... They're even admitting it, that the riots are the only reason why this happened. Yeah, right? Because again, how often do you see killer cops actually get guilty verdicts? Never! Dereck Chauvin was probably, I'm pretty sure, and I saw this somewhere, but I haven't fact-checked it, but to my understanding, the very first cop who murdered a black person on national television, or just, just in general, to get a guilty verdict for murder. The very first in Minnesota state history. And the only reason is because of the cell phone video of George Floyd, like, being murdered, right? If that didn't exist, they would have said he died of an overdose and Dereck Chauvin wouldn't have even gone to court. He would still be, like, patrolling the streets right now, right? So, again, yes, the only reason why the trial even happened was because of protests. The only reason why all of this happened was because of protests. Yes, and that's a good thing. When you murder someone on live television, you deserve to go to jail. There is no if, there is no and, there is no but. I'm sorry. And again, this isn't like one of those situations where someone pulls out a gun and doesn't think straight and kills someone, right? And they claim it's on accident. That's not the situation. This guy had his knee on his neck for 9 minutes. Could have handcuffed him. For 9 minutes. Could have. Chose not to. There were 4 cops, by the way. Are we going to talk about the other cops? Are they all going to jail as well? I wonder what the scoop is with those guys. But anyway, this is a 2-minute clip of Tim Pool's absolute and utter freak-out meltdown. So let's keep going.
The jury saying Dereck Chauvin should go to prison on second-degree murder. Now, I want to be fair. They're getting on the felony murder rule, arguing that it was assault against George Floyd. And because it was felony assault and George Floyd died, therefore it's murder. Okay.
What?
I think there's
legal
an
expert
argument
Tim
of
Pool?
assault, but this is what really makes me think that this is nuts. We watched the video in great detail. The defense showed the video. George Floyd was resisting arrest. A bystander even said, "You can't win, man. Just get in the car." No joke. The prosecution and the defense.
Okay. So Tim Pool, brain genius, legal mastermind, is postulating that George Floyd, having 4 police officers on his body, 1 on his knees, 1 on his abdomen, 1 on his neck, somehow he was resisting arrest. You want to say that again? He was resisting arrest. If you have 3 cops holding you down, one of the cops is blocking your passages to breathe, and you're telling them you can't breathe, I'm sorry, how can you resist arrest? And let's assume, all right, George Floyd was a dirty thug. He's resisting arrest. So what the fuck is going on with those cops where they can't apprehend the criminal thug who's resisting arrest while they have their fucking knees on his throat and his legs and his body? They can't apprehend him? That says a lot about the cops in this fantasy world that Tim Pool is postulating. But of course, that world doesn't exist. He's just saying this to impress his right-wing followers and to get money and donations from dumb motherfuckers like the person who's probably looking this video up in a couple days from now and is going to leave a comment saying, "Oh, you SJW tranny, how dare you defend the criminal thug, George." Like, those people are going to leave comments on this video. You are the exact kind of person that Tim Pool is pretending to placate to. He doesn't actually believe this shit. He's saying it for money.
Let's show that in closing arguments. A guy yelling to Floyd to stop resisting. Some random bystander. So I'm sitting here like, why is the prosecution showing George Floyd actively resisting and a bystander saying stop resisting? So you mean to tell me that a cop is trying to arrest somebody for a counterfeit, for potential under the influence, and now a resisting arrest, and it's assault if the guy says, hold me on the ground, hold me on the ground, hold me on the ground, like George Floyd did, and then Chauvin holds him on the ground, and they say, that's felony assault. Oh, and he died? Murder. Now he's going to go to prison. So I'll tell you this. I'm not a big fan. I'm not interested in defending the state or police institutions as a whole. My interest is in the individual Dereck Chauvin and his rights. And I'm not happy that, about what happened to George Floyd, but I will tell you, if you got a problem with the state and the system and the policing, take it up with the state, the system, and the policing. But now, you know what happened? The state literally won.
Wait.
It was the state.
Okay, hold the phone. So, is Tim Pool being pro-protest? Is he pro-riot?
You got a problem with the state and the system and the policing? Take it up with the state, the system, and the policing.
That's what they did. They burned down Minneapolis's 3rd precinct. They did take it up with the state and the police and the system. And Tim Pool called them violent thugs, criminals, rioters, and looters. So, should we take it up with the state? Should we take it up with the police? Or should we not take it up with the state? Should we not take it up with the police? What? But again, it doesn't have to make sense. Because most of this guy's dumb fuck fans are not even going to listen to these statements. They're just going to say, whatever Tim Pool says, gotta be correct. They just have him on as background noise. Tim Pool is literally programming their thoughts, their feelings, right? They don't care about the minutia. They don't care about the details. Wait a second, you just said take it up with the policing. Well, what does that mean, right? They don't care about that.
But now, you know what happened? The state literally won. It was the state of Minnesota versus Dereck Chauvin. And the state won their case. Why? Because leftists, extremists, activists went out, burned down their city. Leftist journalists are the ones saying this. They're being on the ground and engaging in these activities resulted in this verdict. Maxine Waters making these threats. And so the jury sided with...
That fucking bullshit. Smash the like button popping up, man.
Maxine Waters making these threats. And so the jury sided with the state.
I'm sorry. If you buy this, if this is something you listen to this and you're like, man, Tim Pool's really a bright star in our tunnels of darkness. He's so smart. If you're thinking that, Lord have motherfucking mercy on you and everyone that has to deal with you on a daily basis. Your coworkers, your family, God forbid, your spouse. Oh, Lord have mercy. Your kids. Imagine having to live with someone that's a Tim Pool fan. Wow. And imagine being Tim Pool. Lord have motherfucking mercy. But again, this guy he's not sending his best, and he hasn't been sending his best for a while. As we can see, here's the nice little compilation. Chauvin defense scores major win, as medical expert says Floyd death not homicide? What? Chauvin defense nails slam dunk, as state witness says overdose possible. What? Massive witness backfire may have just gotten Chauvin acquitted. What? Right? And then, of course, the classic, Trump might win in a landslide, destroying trust in media for generations. What? The guy has been selling you snake oil for a long time, and if you're still buying it, Lord, again, have motherfucking mercy, not on you, but on everyone that has to deal with you on a daily fucking basis. And guess what? I got news for you. They talk shit about you behind your back, right? When they're talking to their friends, right? Oh, my dad is such a fucking idiot. He thinks that Tim Pool, when they're talking to their maybe when you're not around, when you go to the bathroom during the dinner, right? They might say, oh, I hope Dad doesn't talk about politics again. He's such a fucking moron, right? These people in your life, they don't like you. They talk shit about you behind your back. They think you're stupid, and guess what? They're right. Because you are stupid. Because Tim Pool is stupid. And you listen to that motherfucker? What? Lord have motherfucking mercy.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ